Hi, I'm Jackie Rabbit. Today I want to talk about something we're all kind of doing, going back to work. There's a couple other things and an update. So stay to the end and I'll tell you all about that update. So go give me a thumbs up and click the little bell when you subscribe, because you know you want to. And you'll get the alerts when I post new videos, because you want to know about those little updates that I'll be providing for the next 22 days. Follow along and you'll find out. Come with me, let's talk about going back to work and what it's like. So you went back to work. At least some of us did, right? I did too. I've been doing some work on and off, and then doing some stuff at home and a lot of school at home. I took this time to enroll and start my classes, and I'm doing the at-home portion, and I've gotten a good way into it. I'm into chapter 7 tonight, so out of 14 chapters. So working my way through and really putting the effort in. So I've noticed traffic's picked up on the road. I know people are driving to and from work. I see lots of people parked on the street next to the businesses, and people are going back to work to a degree. Restaurants have opened up. Even my dad was like, hey, let's go to our little breakfast restaurant, and they have sitting outside. And I've got so much going on, I just thought I'll get a rain check on it. I didn't get up early enough, basically. But I see two camps, It's like I see the camp of everyone who's excited to go back to work, and kind of everything's done, everything's fixed, everything's good now, which, I don't think so. I think we're still in a lot of trouble, but, being careful is the only thing you can do, at least as far as I can tell. And I have like 3 masks in the car and stuff. Here where I live, it's mandatory out in public to have a mask anywhere, pumping gas, So Santa Clara is really cracked down. So when I go to Santa Clara, you've got to. Here where I live, it's a lot more relaxed, but at the same time, I think the risk is exactly the same. So I do my best. You know what I worry about most? I'm less worried about me, and I'm more worried about hurting somebody else. What if I carry it around and give it to somebody? I don't want to do that. Anyway, enough of that stuff. We hear about that constantly. But I want to talk about how you're handling this. Some people are really, really worried and stressing out. But here's the thing about stressing out. It lowers your immunity. So you really don't want to stress out. I know that's hard to say, but I will go back to the same thing I say almost every video. It's really good to have a therapist. If you've got a therapist, they can be more than just for gender-related items. Therapists are there for a lot of your needs. In fact, the majority of what I talk to my therapist about isn't trans-related gender stuff. At least it hasn't been for quite some time. It's about life and stress and work and money and careers and school and everything else, And that's really what your therapist is there for. So if you are stressed out, I really recommend you get a therapist. If you have one, make an appointment if you feel you need to, and call them on the phone. Do the phone appointment. That's what they usually do now. And I find that works really well. They also do the video ones where they do it over, like, not Zoom, but something else, at least for mine. But, it's simple. So I don't have a big, hardcore topic today, but I do have a big update today. So those of you who have followed along know that I'm coming up on bottom surgery, and it is still coming. It is something like 21, 22 days away. And my biggest concern is getting all my work done. So I'm trying to just do a lot of my work in advance so it's complete. That is stressful for me, and usually what I talk to my therapist about when I do talk to him. But I'll tell you something. This is a big journey, This is one of the biggest things I'll have to deal with in my lifetime. And I was once separated in 2 halves, my pelvis off my spine. I had to live through that, dying 3 times, spending 3 years in a wheelchair, learning how to walk again, And this is the big thing. So, I'll be in the hospital for like a week and then go home for a week and work from home on my laptop a little. And then as soon as I can, I'll go and do some observation. I'm just kind of hanging out in the break room on the couch and stuff, take my blanket with me and just cozy up and be there because they kind of need me to, tell them about certain machines and things. So that's the plan. We'll see if I feel good enough by the time that comes around. And then as soon as I'm ready, maybe a month and a half, I don't know. Some of my friends have gone through bottom surgery, and month and a half seems to be like, yeah, I feel human enough to go drive and do stuff and sit down and all that. So I'll be going to school to finish up the practicum portion of schoolwork, and I want to have that done before the end of the year. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about the whole school thing, but bottom surgery is like the culmination of so much, I've gone through so many other surgeries that weren't gender related, and now I've gone through a lot of surgeries that are gender related, and this is like the culmination of everything. So yeah, one of the things I faced that I struggled with was there's a couple options. There's full depth, and then there's whatever your native material is, which sometimes they call that a vulvoplasty, but this would be a little bit of depth, like 1 to 2 inches worth of depth or something, and you wouldn't have to dilate. But at the same time, I've always considered this, and in my mind, my entire life, whether I do anything with it or not, I had depth. So, a standard body part for a standard woman. And so I had to struggle with it. I don't have any plans. I don't know what I'm doing. But at the same time, you can't go backwards on this. So I'm just going forward with the full depth. And I know that entails a lot of dilation. And it is more invasive and everything. But that was the decision I made. And I'm sticking to it. I'm fine with it. But at the end of the day, girls our age or older, we have to really think about it. What is it that we want out of this? What do we plan to do? And what do we need? And sometimes not all that stuff comes together so clearly and cleanly. Got to go with your gut. Just go with your gut, and stick to it. Make the decision, stick to it. Don't turn back. Just keep going. And I think most of us know and understand the concept that you make a decision and you just go with it. And don't shortchange yourself. I thought about this. Why would I do something less? Well, I would heal quicker and I could go to school faster and it would be less invasive and I wouldn't have a graft and some other things, And I've had a graft before and they take months to heal. I've waited all this time. I think a little inconvenience in time is no big deal when healing from this either. So I'm not shortchanging myself one little bit. I'm still making the same decision I've always thought of. It's what I've thought my entire life, and I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, I think it's something about 22 days. And for the 2 days before surgery, I will be doing the bowel prep, which means I will be down and out all weekend long getting ready, sitting near the bathroom, which is just fun and dandy. So, but that's the way it works. Anyway, that's really all I have for you. I wanted to give you an update, let you know I'm doing fine. I've just been working really hard at my schoolwork, and I know that I haven't posted much, but I've just been hard at work behind my laptop, chugging away, getting things done. And I'll keep posting as we go, and I will try not to be incessant about only talking about me, but right now that's kind of what I feel like talking about, so that's what you're hearing today. So remember, there's always great resources over at transgenderpulse.com. There's lots of people you can meet, lots of great advice, and a resource page where you can find a therapist in your location. That's how I started, and I found a fantastic, amazing therapist that I went to. And don't worry about the cost. Find the money. Out of pocket shouldn't stop you. I know that's hard for us right now, but if you got to put it on a credit card, your mental health is worth gold. Just take care of yourself first, It's as important as food. So, take care of yourself. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for you so that every single day you can move forward and not have to look back and say, what if? No more what if. Just go for tomorrow. I got 21 days of tomorrows, and I'm telling you something. The biggest worry I have is what I won't do in advance of going. Isn't that silly? Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye. I went to go get examined by my surgeon, and after examining me, he took one look and said, "Full depth will require a graft." And I said, "Oh my gosh, are you telling me that I have a small wiener?" And he looked at me with a straight face and said, "Jackie, some girls need more material and some girls don't."